And now we are live. Hi, hello, magandang tanghali. Good afternoon, everyone. Welcome back to another session of Career Talk Thursdays. I'm Roan and I'll be your host for today. So, ito na yung 22nd session natin this year. And this afternoon, we will be talking about how to stand out and get hired at IBM as a fresh grad. So, para ito sa mga fresh grads, Gen Zs, or young millennials na gustong mag-stand out sa job application process sa isa sa top companies dito sa bansa natin, which is IBM. So, wag na natin patagalin. Let's all welcome our guest speaker for today. Kayla is a BS Psychology graduate from De La Salle University. IBM is her first company and is now 8 years in talent acquisition. She has been involved in various tasks or roles within talent acquisition and is currently the talent acquisition partner handling end-to-end recruitment for campus and early professional hiring. She loves to binge watch beauty and tech videos on YouTube and rewatching series like Modern Family, Friends, and NCISLA. So, let's all welcome Miss Kayla. Ayan. So, sa backstage, nagchichikahan na kami about sa mga series. So, yung sa dulo, yung NCISLA, yun, hindi lang ang
Yeah.
familiar. Ayan. So, kamusta Miss Kayla?
Hi, thank you for having me. Good afternoon, everyone.
Ayan. So, bago tayo mag-start sa discussion natin today, mas kilalanin lang muna natin si Miss Kayla. So, nalaman na natin yung brief overview ng career niya. Pero, Miss Kayla, can you briefly share your college life back then? And konting overview lang kung paano mo na-reach yung role mo sa IBM.
Well, brief life sa college. Actually, year kopong-kopong na hindi ko na siya maalala. The joke lang. But yeah, I remember during college, involved ako sa mga school orgs. I was involved in parang yung Comelec version ng LaSalle. So, medyo sobrang involved ako doon. And then, sa IBM, yun nga, when I graduate, as mentioned kanina, it's my first company. So, yeah, doon talaga ako the moment na nagkaroon ng opening sa IBM, nag-apply ako for recruitment. Yan.
Grabe, no? Sobrang loyal. 8 years!
Yes.
Oo. Kasi
Tagal
'di
na.
ba, oo, uso yung career hopping, ganyan. Pero
Mm.
sobrang nakakatuwa lang na yung, nakikita natin first hand yung mga tao na yung first job nila, nandun pa rin sila until now.
Yes.
Ayan. So, ready ka na ba for your presentation?
Yep.
Okay.
Ayan. Okay. Uh, Right. So again, thank you, Ron, for having me for today. No. So again, happy Thursday, everyone. Let me just introduce myself. My name is Kayla Bayan, and I am a talent acquisition partner here from IBM. Right? So before we start, let me just share you a little something about me again. So as mentioned, IBM is my first job, and I've been with the company for 8 years now. And as mentioned earlier, yes, I have been involved in various roles within the talent acquisition team, and I am currently handling the campus and early entry level hiring. Okay, so before we go on to the main topic, so allow me to introduce what IBM, let me first discuss who IBM is. All right. So first, let's focus on the three main statements at the left part. So first, we are a global technology and innovation company. So take note that we are no longer make computers. Instead, we are one of the largest technology and consulting employer in the world. So secondly, we live at an intersection of business and technology, and today we are a cognitive solutions and cloud platform company transforming entire industry. So simply put, we offer business process solutions technical and industry solutions, and innovative technology solutions to respond to the world's ever evolving needs. Okay, and third one is that we have been providing business values for enterprise clients in the Philippines for more than 80 years now. So this 2020, we turned 85 to be exact. Okay, and at the right side, you'll see here our 6 sites that we have in the Philippines. So within Metro Manila, we have an office site in BGC, which is in One World Place, and then we have 2 sites in Quezon City. So the first one is in Eastwood City, Libis, and UP Ayala Techno Hub located along Commonwealth Avenue. All right, and then we have one in Ortigas as well. So we have one in Hanston Square. All right, for our outside Metro Manila, we have 2 office sites. One is in Naga, Bicol, and the other one is in Cebu, which is in Cebu Business Park. Okay, so now at the bottom part of the slide, you can see here are 3 legal entities in the Philippines. So first one is IBMP or IBM Philippines. So we are the leading supplier of information technology, hardware, and software and services in the country. Next is ISD or IBM Solutions Delivery. So this provides IT expertise delivering world-class technology services and business solutions. And lastly, we have IBS or IBM Business Services. So it's the foremost provider of business transformation outsourcing for HR, F&A or financial accounting, and supply chain management services. All right. So, yep. Right. So before on to our main topic, how can you make your resume stand out from the pile? All right. So before I discuss this one, so allow me to ask a simple question from everyone virtually. So at an average, how long do you think does it take for a recruiter to look at a resume? So if you could please share your guesses in the chat box. Don't worry, there's no right or wrong answers. Ayan. So if you can put here the chat, ayan. So I can see here we have 7 seconds. Ayan. Don't worry, wala naman siyang right or wrong answers. 15 seconds, all right? Any last guess? Okay. All right. So thank you for your answer, no. So it always takes 6 seconds for a recruiter to look at one resume. So imagine that. It's very quick. So it's important that you really make your resume stand out. So don't fret as I am here to share some tips and tricks. Okay. Let me move on to the next slide. Okay. So how can you make your resume stand out from the pile? So below are some tips that can help and guide you. So first of all is to highlight your accomplishments. So I recommend you to start off your most recent to the oldest accomplishments. So whether from your current or previous employment, your internship back when you were confined within the walls of your classroom and or your volunteer experiences. So if you are a fresh graduate, I understand our audience here is mostly fresh graduate, no? It's best to include your experience in school orgs, your role, so whether you are an org member or an officer, and also the things that you handle within that organization. Yeah. So, secondly, is to try to quantify your experience. So, this just means that you include quantifiable measures such as mentoring. When mentoring projects, include how big the project was, how long did it last, what were the results, or be specific about how you measure success from the achievement. Okay. And third is to keep it clear and concise. So do not write every detail on your resume so that you still have something to say and elaborate during the interview. So just make sure that you were able to highlight major ones. Also, be sure that the formatting and the font is consistent and be sure that your spelling is correct. So don't forget that one. Okay, and fourth is to include links to your work. So you may include personal websites, design portfolio, and social media links such as LinkedIn. Okay. And the fifth one is to put the most important information at the top. So if a recruiter is scanning quickly, the first few bullet points in each section should contain the most relevant information. All right. And lastly, take note that the 99% of hiring managers review resumes digitally. So make sure that your resume can be read easily and the formatting stays consistent when uploading. Okay. And if I may add a final tip here, don't forget to be yourself in your resume. All right. So I hope you're able to learn something from on how to make your resume stand out from the pile. Okay. And then next we proceed to the next slide. So next is to how to ace your interview. All right. So again, meron na ako isa pang question. So again, before we get into a serious topic, so allow me once again to ask this simple question. So how do you feel about job interviews? So go ahead and share your guesses in the chat box. Again, don't worry, there are no right or wrong answers. Yun. So how do you feel about job interviews? Do you feel nervous? Do you feel overwhelmed? Are you scared, etc.? Yan. So as mentioned, you can comment your feelings during your job interview. Yan. I can see here someone said seems scary po. Okay, challenging, nervous. Right. Okay, so thank you for that. I'm sure actually we also asked some of our candidates this question as well, and you all have the same answers. So they feel nervous, sometimes they feel scared, some are excited and nervous at the same time. And I'm sure you guys also feel about those interviews. So again, don't fret as I'll be sharing some tips and tricks. Okay? So I'll proceed to the next slide. All right. So now that you probably the questions that's on your mind, how do you think one could ace an interview? So I'll be sharing with you these set of tips as we go along each of them, and I like to share my own experience as well, or the take on them. So I think this is what it landed me in IBM 8 years back. Okay. Right. So first, let's go to the blue box first. To the blue box. So getting ready or preparing for the interview. So this is all about making a great first impression. Okay. So first one is to dress professionally. So of course, in an interview right now, medyo hybrid setup tayo, no? So there are companies who would do face-to-face or online interview. So if you, of course, kapag face-to-face kayo, you need to dress formally or a business casual um, would be preferable as well. Okay, but in a virtual interview, you should also dress the same as you would in a face-to-face interview. So doing so not only makes you appear professional and excited about the opportunity, but it would also make you feel more prepared and confident. So if you are unsure what the attire would be, business casual is a good standard to follow. Okay. So secondly is to read and review and read about the role. So do your homework and know about the role. So make sure that you understand the role that you are applying for as well as the company. So read about them, who their typical customer is or the client, what the work that they do. You are not expected to be an expert, but just know the basics would be fine. Okay? So next is have two reasons why you are interested in the role. So consider a business related reason which can be aligned with your current capacity or interest or strength based from your experiences. So try to come up with a secondary reason as well. Maybe community involvement or team culture that you might have heard through other employee stories. So it is important though that you really see yourself fitting the company's organization, and by that I mean its overall character, the purposes, the values, and the practices. Okay. So fourth is to have an explanation for why you are job searching. So some suggestions would be for experience, for our professional audience out there. Let's say you've accomplished X number of years in your current role or certain goals in your current role, and you are ready for a new challenge. Another suggestion is that your company's direction has shifted and you feel it's time to join a new team or group. Next is to you can get um, more specific based on your situation. Sorry about that. All right. Um, all right. Sorry everyone for that. Okay. So let us proceed. So for the fifth one is to prepare to talk about specific accomplishments. So prepare specific examples and talk about details. So facts, numbers, and real accomplishments. So do the step as well as with your resume or your CV. Okay. Six is to be familiar with your resume as it speaks of your career journey. So this is one of the more important interview preparation tips and one of the most easiest. So glance over your resume if you haven't in a while. And lastly is to practice conveying your thoughts for behavioral questions via CAR technique. So nowadays, interviewers normally ask situational or behavioral questions. So for them to be able to completely grasp your thoughts, it would be best to use certain approach when responding to these questions via CAR technique. Responding this way helps gives justice to your own career contributions and milestones, as well as it helps the interviewer understand your actual skills and your experience level. Okay, now that you know on how to prepare for your interview, let's proceed in the white box, which is during or acing the interview. So first is to be on time. So this is still an important item. So it is always good to give a good first and lasting impression. Okay. And next is to prepare to describe your work history briefly. So prepare a good brief narrative of your career. So it has to be concise and spend most of your time on the recent portion of your career. Okay. Third is to stay calm and be yourself. Stay relaxed and just be you. So we know that interviews can be nerve wracking, but if you think about it that much, it may affect the way you'd express yourself and answer questions. Okay. So when asked if you don't know the answer to a specific question, Just be honest and respond based on your experience. So if it's not something that you have had experience on, that's okay. Just be honest and say that you what you'd share is your opinion on a matter. Okay. So fourth is to be prepared to answer technical questions. So no need to get nervous. These questions are meant to make interviewer gauge your expertise. Try to work your way through the question as well as much as you can. Okay, your thought process is important, so ask questions to clarify if needed. All right, and lastly is to be concise, use clear language and consistent. Don't use vague languages and avoid their questions. Okay, and next is we can proceed to the pink box. So it's the after or leaving a group good impression. So the first one is to ask thoughtful questions. So do not hesitate to ask questions or seek clarity if needed. Second, of course, is to thank the interviewer. You should thank your interviewer, be it face to face or virtual, for the time spent and considering you for the role. So third is to, of course, ask to stay in touch. Fourth one is to take time to for follow up. So if it's not provided, you may also ask when you can expect to hear feedback. If that time passes, it's okay to follow up with the employer and to get an update from them. But be patient, of course, because delays can happen. All right. So those are our helpful tips and tricks that can help you when you are in a job interview. Okay, so let us proceed to the next slide. This one is just to add lang something no for how to ace in an interview. Um, if Just to add no, do you know that body language can also contribute on how you do well in a job interview? So it gives the interviewer a good impression on you as well. Okay? So body language is the unspoken part of communication that we use to reveal our true feelings and give our message more impact. Okay? So awareness of people's reactions to what you say or do. You can adjust your body language to appear more positive, engaging, and approachable. Okay? So let me share you some tips on how to project positivity through your body through body language during a job interview. So first is to have an open posture. So be relaxed and don't slouch. Don't forget also to sit upright. Okay. So next is to maintain eye contact. So maintaining good eye contact with your interview can show that you are very confident with your answer. This will also show you are sincere and engaged. Third is to avoid touching your face. So actions like playing with your hair, scratching your nose, etc. While you are in a job interview can be a sign of dishonesty. It's like it's not usually like that all the time, but it's like you are not that confident or unsure with your answer when you do those kinds of gestures. Okay. Next is that given that it's still pandemic, there are companies again that do their job interviews virtually. So here are some tips on how to virtually project positivity through of your body language. So first is to get your virtual camera set up right. Next is to tidy your space or find a quiet area for your video call. Next is to maintain eye contact, and also lastly is to use facial expressions. All right. So as we close out on today's presentation, so here are a few ways to stay in touch with IBM and stay updated on news and job opportunities. So we have here our social media links. We have Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, LinkedIn, and YouTube as well. We also have our career portal, which is ibm.com/jobs. And then if you are interested in growing your skills, we have free badges that you can learn, including design thinking, agile, blockchain, coding, data science, etc. So feel free to scan the QR code seen at the tech. Okay. So, yep, I guess that's it. Thank you for having me again, and hope you enjoy the rest of your week. Thanks, Ron.
Hello? Ayan. So, meron lang tayong, nandito na tayo ngayon sa Q&A and meron lang tayong questions na dito sa comment section. Tapos, umpisahan muna natin sa isa sa mga importanteng factors na kino-consider ng job seekers na which is culture ng isang company. So, dito natin malalaman kung ano ba yung mga advocacies ng company, ano ba yung values nila, or paano yung work environment, or kung paano nila i-treat yung employees nila. So, Miss Kayla, can you share some of the highlights of IBM's company culture? Ano yung sa tingin mo na unique thing about IBM's culture? Kahit personally, gano'n. Ay, nakamute ka ata.
Ay, sorry. Ayan. Ayan, sorry about that. Well, personally naman, I think yung culture ni IBM is very diverse that we
Mm.
give importance to learning. Like if let's say if you want to have a career, if you want to grow your career within IBM, not doing the same role that you are doing, we have some like ready learnings or learning material that can help you through that can guide you through the goal that you are aiming for. So I think that's one thing that I like about IBM. And another thing is of course, IBM is a diverse company, so we welcome anyone, um, anyone within IBM. So um, no matter um, no matter what your personality is, we welcome them with IBM as well.
Meron ditong question. May I ask if there's an internship po in IBM
Mhm.
Techno Hub for graduating students? Thank you po.
Yeah, yeah. As a matter of fact, we actually have opening for internship with IBM. Um, we are looking for tech fresh grad. Not fresh. Sorry, not fresh grad. IT students actually. We have an opening for them right now. So if you're interested, ayun, you can try joining yun.
Dito naman, any advice para sa mga fresh grads na wala pang work experience pero gusto mag-stand out sa job application?
Mm. Ah, siguro what I can say is from my personal experience, no? Like I actually before I landed this job with IBM, I think I was like waiting for 1 or 2 months. So I know that during those gap months or gap time, nerve-wracking siya for of course for a fresh grad like me kasi parang bakit wala pang work until now even though you've attended a lot of job interviews and all. Siguro what I can say is try to recall those past if you've attended job interviews before, kahit siguro recall those questions and try answering those questions one by one um kasi even kahit anong kasi even uh, i- um iba-iba yung questions na tinatanong per company, pare-pareho pa rin yung content or yung gist nun. So parang you can practice those questions, you can practice those questions, you can um, know how to answer those questions confidently. But it's not really that you need to memorize all the answers that you wrote. Parang just know the content of the answer. Yun.
So in terms of resume naman, as a talent acquisition partner, ano-ano yung mga qualities ng resume na nag-stand out para sa'yo?
Qualities that stand out. Well, of course, siguro for fresh grad. for fresh graduates, what we also look at, not only their um, academic achievements, but we also look at on how their experiences, especially during their college days, yung if they are uh, being active ba on a certain organization, ano yung role na ginawa nila, and ayun, that's I think that's one thing that we look in a resume kapag for fresh graduates. Yan.
Dito naman yung question, is it a plus when you know all about the company you're applying for?
Not it's a plus siya, but you don't need to like know everything about the company, no? Just know uh just know yung client sila, ano yung work that they do, the customer that they serve or the client. Parang you can also learn like medyo luma na yung term, parang yung mission vision nung company. Para at least kapag sumasagot ka sa job interview, mare-relate mo yung parang mission vision ng company dun sa sagot na gusto mong i-share during the interview.
Dito naman tanong, is it advisable to highlight the seminars/webinars attended in your resume as a fresh grad?
Um, yeah, it's a you can naman input the seminars or the webinars that you attended, but don't make sure na wag masyadong mahaba. Para siguro you can yung recent look back, the best recent look back is yung siguro the ones that you attended from your third year to your senior year. Kasi you don't need to put everything since the freshman naman. Yun.
And add ko lang din, kasi binalikan ko yung fresh grad resume ko lately lang. Tapos, ayun, naglagay din ako ng trainings and seminars. So, ang thought process ko, na-realize ko na mga nilagay ko doon, yung mga related doon sa ina-applyan kong role. So, for example, kung teaching position yung in-applyan ko before, mga related sa education na seminars. Ayun. So, pasado po ba yan sa isang talent acquisition partner?
Yeah, actually, well, to be honest, yun yung ginawa ko nung una, nung fresh graduate ako. Ang dami ko para siguro for our fresh graduate, masyadong exage na yung three pages of resume. Kasi dahil sa
True.
dami ng resume, nung seminar inattended mo, parang masyado na siyang too lengthy for a fresh graduate. So, yun nga. As better nga look back would be at least 2 years.
And tanong naman ni Jessamy, things we shouldn't write in our resume.
Things that you shouldn't write. Um, things you shouldn't write. Not really should not write. Kasi if you would, there are resumes na naglalagay ng character reference. It's not that you need to write yung people of character reference, but you need, don't put them muna. Kasi first of all, those character reference contains confidential information like the name and the number, email number per the role ng person. Wag muna. For the character reference, it's better to keep them muna in your pocket unless hiningi siya ng recruiter nyo. So, yun. Wag nyo muna siyang ilagay muna. Another thing is also your personal information. Don't put so much dun sa personal information nyo sa resume. Siguro just put contact number, parang, email and contact number lang. Kasi if you put so much like your birthday, your address, and other things, any other personal information, parang it's too much na rin kasi.
Ayan. So, what are your thoughts naman sa paglagay ng picture sa resume? It's a no-no ba? Dahil para maiwasan ang discrimination-based physical appearance or okay lang naman?
Um, well, I'm not sure if kasi medyo parang old school ako.
Mm.
Kasi of course kapag sa resume ang nakikita natin usually is the, tawag dito, yung parang one by one ID. I think that's okay for us. Kasi there are times wherein when we look at the resume, may mga pictures na parang naka-photoshoot siya. So, it's not really if you're up kasi if you're applying for a position for a job kasi 'di ba, you need at least you need to look professional. Unless of course if yung job na applyan mo is something related to like fashion, model, etc. That's okay. But if you're applying for a siguro a position that's very um corporate or something, siguro yung pinaka-basic lang is that the ID picture or ano. That's my opinion ha, kasi parang really we even see pictures na yung buong photo ni ate pero nakaliit ng naka-shrink lang to one by one, ayun.
So, guys, iwasan natin maglagay ng
Yeah.
mga photo na naka-selfie, ganyan.
Yeah, oo.
Pero
Yan.
may hack na puwede ka naman mag-self-portrait pero i-edit
Mm,
mo muna siya sa Canva. Kasi tatanggalin
mm,
mo lang naman yung background, eh, 'di ba? Gagawin mong
mm.
plain white, ganyan. Tapos maglalagay ka yung parang ginagawa sa mga computer
Yes.
shop, naglalagay ng ano, ng Amerikano na damit para maging formal. So, puwede niyo i-try yun, 'di ba? So, may mga
Mm.
questions pa dito. How about soft skills? How should we put it on our resume?
How about soft skills? How should we put it in the resume? Soft skills, siguro, hmm, I'm not sure. Siguro you can just bullet point na lang yung, soft skills niyo. Total yung soft skills kasi puwede mo naman siya mai-imply during your interview, eh. So, siguro put na lang, soft skills parang i-bullet point na lang siya, dun sa resume niyo. Anyway, the soft skills naman, it can be seen it can be, puwede naman makita yun kapag ini-interview ka na, eh.
And minsan puwede rin natin siyang makita doon sa description ng work experience.
Yes,
Like for
that's right.
example, 'pag nakipag-brainstorm ka sa ibang team members niyo sa company, ganyan. So, ayun, choice talaga of verbs, tama po ba?
Mm,
Ayan.
yes.
Dito naman may question tayo, para sa'yo as a talent acquisition partner, ano yung parang expectation 'pag
How should
sumasagot yung job seeker sa tanong na, "What is your salary expectation?"
For fresh graduates, siguro what I can suggest is to give lang a range of your salary expectation. Like, for example lang to, I'm not saying that this is the salary that we offer. Pero for example lang to, let's say, I'm expected to have a salary within 10,000 to 20,000. But you are open for negotiation. So, remember, pag fresh graduates, that's an entry level position. Eh. So, do don't really, don't expect like you're giving, even if you are entry level, you will be giving like a salary, which is equivalent to a supervisor or a manager. But expect, siguro uh, be ready lang sa sarili mo na you will be within that range of salary, the salary that you would ano.
So, in terms of, job interview naman, paano mo masasabi na nag-stand out ang isang job applicant during this job application stage? Ano yung mga naipamalas niya, gano'n, or kung paano
Mm.
siya during this stage?
I think it depends kasi on how they answer the questions during the interview. If I go back lang dun sa previous presentation ko, no, some companies kasi ask behavioral or situational questions. So, of course, depende na kasi kung paano yung sinasagot nung applicant or the candidate on how they answer those types of questions. Eh. If let's say if they manage to give a good answer, like a concrete answer to a specific behavioral questions, um, and not only that, in addition to that, no, in parallel, and how they their com skills as well, or their communication skills kapag nasagot nila ng articulate or maganda yung conversation yun within the interviewer, no, kundi I think that's one of the things that that's one of the things that can really stand out during a job interview.
And, based naman sa personal experience ko, parang 'pag yung mga nagiging successful na job interviews ko, yun yung mga hindi parang robotic na batuhan lang ng answer na na-search mo sa
Yes,
Google, ganyan. Parang more
yes,
on
that's right.
quality of conversation
Mm.
talaga, 'di ba?
Oo.
Na parang
That's
authentic. Ay, sige.
actually the reason why kapag kunyari if you are on a job interview, kailangan mo i-recall yung mga you need to recall those questions eh na parang kung ano yung tinanong sa'yo before para masagot mo siya kasi those questions are most likely behavioral questions or situational questions eh para if you go on to the next job interview parang you would if natanong nila yung the same questions that they asked before, at least you would know on how to answer it. Eh. Parang it also takes practice na rin as well when you answer for a job interview.
Question naman dito, can we write on our resume a specific skill that isn't related to the job position that we're applying for?
Can we write on our specific relation to? Siguro it's good to have lang. Parang it's nice to have lang na ilagay but don't really need to parang i-reiterate pa kung ano yung particular skill na yun. Yun.
Ayan. So, ito naman, medyo personal sa career journey mo na one thing na natutunan mo as a talent acquisition partner ngayon na sana alam mo na nung fresh grad ka pa lang. Wala naman ditong age reveal.
One thing natutunan mo sa acquisition na yun. Fresh grad ka pa lang. Siguro yung fresh grad ka pa lang. Actually, I don't know. Marami kasi siyang parang siguro what I can share is that you really need to be open to a lot of opportunities kasi as a talent acquisition partner, you give a lot of opportunities to the candidates that you are applying. You're apply dun sa candidates nag-a-apply sa'yo eh. Parang there are certain various roles to any fresh graduates that you can offer to them eh. So, as a fresh graduate siguro, I think you need to have an open mind. You need to have a growth mindset that that you that you are ready to any position, you are ready to any role that is given to you by the company or by the employer. And also, one thing as well is be ready if for a fresh graduate, you need to be ready na uh, of course during a job interview, it's not always fast. Hindi ka lagi pumapasa sa job interview. Be ready for rejections as well. And don't take it too much. Take it like as an opportunity for you to grow. Kasi at least on the next job interview that you'll be attending, at least you are now ready. You will know on how to correct yourself and how to answer properly. Ayun. So I think that's one thing that I can say. One thing that I learned as a talent acquisition partner. Yeah. Mm.
Ay, sorry, naka-mute pala ako. Ang dami ko ng nasabi. Dami ko ng nasabi. Nagmo-monologue pala ako dito. So ayan, 'di ba? Parang feeling ko ang dami pang mashi-share, na natutunan as a talent acquisition partner. Kasi, 'di ba, 8 years ka nag-stay sa isang company, na kahit isang company 'yan, for sure ang daming learning. So, dito naman, ano yung advice mo para sa mga fresh grads na gustong mag-apply sa top companies like IBM pero hindi gano'n ka-confident sa sarili?
Any advice? Ah, ayun nga, any advice fresh graduates can apply sa companies? What I can say siguro is to practice, especially if you are really aiming for a multinational company like IBM or any other um, multinational company. Siguro mag-practice kayo on uh, how to answer job interviews, how to siguro review again your CV, review again your resume if it's good enough for the company that you're applying for. Not only that, siguro research as well. Not only the company itself, but there are already platforms like LinkedIn, like YouTube. You can just easily search on para kung ano yung mga good interview questions and how to answer those interview questions. That's actually, it's a very helpful platform, lalo na yung YouTube and LinkedIn, para it can guide you along the way on how to apply to a certain company, or how to answer a certain interview question dun sa company na yun. Yun.
Ayan. So, plug ko na rin na soon si Prosper magkakaroon siya ng educational vlogs na
Yeah.
about dito sa iba't ibang stages ng job application, 'di ba? So, vlog siya kasi hindi lang siya yung nasa harap ng camera. So, with that twist siya. So, abangan niyo rin 'yon. So, meron na lang tayong last two questions. In one word, how would you describe your fresh grad job hunting experience before?
Exciting.
Bakit mo nasabi na exciting siya? Dahil agad natanggap ba or marami ka pa bang ibang in-applyan before?
Actually, marami akong in-applyan before. I think I had like 2 or 3 or 4 job interviews before I landed kay IBM. But it's again, parang hindi siya kasi, pag na-reject ako, that's okay for me. Parang I took it as an opportunity for me to grow. So, yun. So, nung in-interview ako kay IBM, at least I know that nag-prepare ako for that one naman.
May pahabol lang na question sa comment section na if we have the chance to ask an employer, what is the best question you can ask him or her?
Um, Siguro I'm basing this dun sa mga candidates na nai-interview namin, 'no. Most of some of our candidates kasi actually asking what is the culture on a certain company. So I think for me that's the best, kung ano yung culture, ano yung setup, ganun. So parang sasabihin nila, "Oh, how's the culture kay IBM is how do you describe it?" Parang ganun. Parang I think that's the best, not really the best, but that's a good question for me, kasi first para it would give the candidate at least a glimpse on what type of on the culture that he or she is applying for. Yeah.
Ayan. So, yung last question naman natin ay, what is your message to more on message pala. What is your message to college students, fresh grads, Gen Zs, or young millennials?
For pag-a-apply,
Oo. Sa career life nila, ganyan. Sa mga
sa
nag-i-start
career
pa lang.
start pa lang, siguro don't, ano ba? 'Wag kayo siguro, ah, 'wag kayong magmadali. I mean, I know, um, looking for a job is very overwhelming. Um, so nakaka-overwhelm talaga siya. You are parang I have experience, I have friends na, ang tagal nila nag-job hunting even though they are um, even though they already prepared for this and that just to aim on that particular company or to pass on a job interview. Don't worry kasi I know again, uh, just again be if you're really aiming for a particular company, if you're applying for, practice lang. I mean, just again, there are a lot of platforms for you to uh on how to join or how to answer particular questions, or how to give your give to have your resume stand out from the pile. Don't worry, parang I know that there are company that there are certain companies, so don't worry, na there are companies that will accept you naman. Again, siguro what I can say also is, um if you fail, on a job interview, don't worry. Look at it as a recalibration. Check if kung saan ka nagkamali. If try to check within yourself, where do you go wrong during this interview? Ito sa kung paano ba ako sumagot, sa resume ko ba. Siguro take time to review also within yourself from time to time as well pag mag-apply. Ayan.
Ayan, so para lang din talaga siyang pagjojowa, 'di ba? Kung ma-reject ka dun sa isa, marami pang chances, 'di ba? And puwede kang
Yeah.
mag-self-reflect kung ano yung nagawa mong mali, 'di ba? So para din 'yan sa relationship. So, Miss Kayla, meron ka bang gustong i-promote na social media platforms ng IBM and open opportunities?
Yeah, you can check our social media tools, like LinkedIn, Instagram, YouTube. We actually share our opportunities there. Again, for internship as well. Again, as mentioned, we have an opening for internship, especially for computer science students. If you're interested, go ahead and feel free to drop your resume on our career portal. And also, in addition, we hopefully you were able to screenshot the QR code that I was able to flash earlier. You can scan that. It has an opportunity for you to grow your skills. We have free badges that you can learn, including again, design thinking, agile, blockchain, data science, and etc.
Ayan. So, to claim your e-certificate of attendance, nasa comment section na natin yung link. And next week, don't forget meron tayo ulit another session. So, 'di ba, meron tayong leading others by the founder and CEO of Nippon Hasha Incorporated, which is Ryan K. Cruz. And don't forget to sign up sa ating platform, ph.prospel.com. So, thank you so much, Miss Kyla, for your
Thank
time and effort to be here. Sobrang dami namin natutunan. And
Thank you for
thank you rin
having
sa
me.
sagot ng questions ng ating live viewers. So, ayan. That ends our Career Talk Thursdays, how to stand out and get hired at IBM as a fresh grad. Thank you so much for joining us today. Once again, I'm your host, Roan. Follow us and stay tuned on our social media channels for updates. So, kita-kits ulit next Thursday. Bye, guys. Bye, Miss
Thank
Kyla. Thank
you.
you.
Bye bye.
Bye-bye.